Fire and ambulance. What is the address of your emergency?
There's a fire on the top of the Whatcom Middle School.
Commercial structure fire. 810 High Street, Whatcom Middle School. I'm showing from the roof.
2 miles away, I saw an orange glow, and I thought, uh-oh, this is not going to be good.
It took about 12 hours for the fire to get put out completely, and then we started the triage. What do we do next?
I just remember like standing with everybody and crying.
So many people relate to this building. Their parents have gone here, their grandparents have gone here, their great-grandparents went to school here.
And then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, you don't have a school anymore.
It was really, really crazy. It was like, I didn't know what was going on or what was going to happen after that.
How were we going to respond as a community, and what were we going to do with kids?
This district just, they were driven. They were driven to put the kids in a good place, in a safe place, and it was pretty amazing. Within 4 days, the kids were back in school.
We all coalesced around this goal that we need to get this school rebuilt just as quick as we can, and came up with the idea to replace it rather than rebuild it.
The defining moment for this project relative to getting it done a year early was the decision to rebuild the school in the exact same footprint that the school currently has. And that allowed several things to occur. One is the contractor, Dawson, could start constructing the exterior of the building immediately, while the architect, Dyckman Architects, could start planning and programming the interior of the structure.
And so work could continue on one piece while the design and the permitting was taking place on the other piece. We didn't have to wait for it to be completely finished.
Everybody helped each other all the way along the line. And the stars just seemed to align for the project all the way through. It was pretty amazing, to tell you the truth. I've never seen anything like it.
Everybody came as an equal to the table, and it wasn't an issue of I'm in charge or, you know, my direction needs to be followed, but we're here to work together as a team, and what do you need today to get through the day?
We all had each other's back was the neat thing. You know, nobody was going to let anybody else fail.
This is a case where you had from parents to staff to the school district to the construction side to the architectural side to the city side with permits, so focused on a common goal that there was no problem that they couldn't overcome as a team.
And everybody was involved. I mean, there was subs and suppliers that were just wanting, they were calling and asking to work on this just to say, we want to help.
Because the insurance folks were paying for the replacement, and because they took such a collaborative approach, they allowed us to work outside the box.
Kids needed to get back into the school. I mean, they were doing okay. They were doing fine when they were at Fairhaven and Geneva and Bellingham High, but they really needed to be back in their school as an integrated community.
Their idea was, look, we want a new building to replace our old building to look just like the old building, but to be a modern school building on the inside.
The community itself was very invested in the school. They did not want to see their historical school torn down. So we built a new shell around the shell of the old school to look exactly like the old school.
So once we put the new building around the outside of the old building, we basically could scrape out the old building just like you'd scrape out a pumpkin to turn into a jack-o'-lantern.
But nobody saw that. Nobody saw that going on. So a lot of people still don't know that it was completely torn down.
When we got to the point of we're going to be opening in 2 years, it was a sigh of relief. Okay, we can do this for 2 years. And then when they said it's going to be done in a year, we almost thought, is this another rumor?
You know, you'd drive by the school and it was still this concrete shell, and the question was, is it even possible?
It was a lot of work to design this building in a real short amount of time.
The design was moving almost as fast as the construction.
We weren't even expecting to get back here. And then, wow, this is happening. Our hopes are going to come true.
Failure wasn't an option because the kids were coming, the community expected it, you know, and everybody was pulling their weight to do it.
Working for you. The district, the builders, the people work together, and the building is reopening 1 year ahead of schedule. For Bellingham, this was a major event, more than just...
It was exciting to see how many people from the community came out. It was exciting to see people of all ages come out for the grand opening.
There was really no other emotion to have other than gratitude, because so many people had worked so hard to make it happen.
I just came in the side door and I was just like, oh my God, because it looked the same from the outside, but it was totally different on the inside.
I just wanted to like run down the halls and see all these new improvements, and I could barely hold it within me. I was so amazed.
I was just shocked at how new it was and how different it looked, but at the same time you could still tell it was Whatcom.
I was like, we're gonna have the best school in the state of Washington. I was pretty convinced, and then I walked through and I thought, well, we might have the best school in the country at this point. I thought it was that amazing.
But nothing beats watching the kids run through and say, we're back, and this is our home.
We were able to make the building fit middle school philosophy. So it's nice to be able to experience with them the satisfaction of being in a space that really does support and enhance instruction and student learning.
Mr. Coulter, he says, okay, stand up if you were here in 6th grade. And so I remember just standing up and thinking, wow, we actually like made it back. We're actually here. It's crazy.
It's been great to know how much dedication so many people did together to get this thing done.
The kind of stuff we do you don't see. The structure is all buried and hidden and behind all the wonderful finishes that Dyckman Architects designed and Dawson constructed. But just knowing that the building is safe, it's going to last another 100 years. They love the space, they love the use of the space.
You can't find the words for how appreciative as a community we are.
It's the most beautiful public school I've ever been in, and it's to think that the construction company and the engineers and the architects in the city and the school district were able to pull this off a year earlier than anticipated. It's amazing.